Hello everybody and welcome back to Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler and this week we are showing off a pretty cool deck from GP Bilbao. That's right. David Csente, I believe, went 12-3 at the GP with this deck. So that is honestly just incredibly impressive in any format, but especially a format like Modern, especially a format being, dominated by these Faithless Looting decks and all that. This is a throwback. This is Zoo, Tribal Zoo. It was a deck a long time ago, an old extended, and it's back, maybe, anyways. We didn't have a 1-drop here, which is unfortunate, but this deck is all aggro, and it's all about this Tribal Flames. Domain, it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. So it doesn't have to be a basic land, just a basic land type. That's why we are a 5-color deck. So, with all that said, we don't really have too much to do here. I'm going to go ahead and... we have a basic plains and a basic force in the deck, by the way, just in case you're keeping score at home here. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and play this out. I don't know what our opponent's up to with a basic swamp and a pass here, but we want to prioritize getting domain. That's what our deck tries to do. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pass the turn, hopefully get something to Lightning Bolt. If not, we'll just play Tarmogoyf. Oh, it's zombies, huh? Okay, zombies. Withered Wretch. That's a pretty nice one. Okay, so our life total is what our life total is here. We have Island, Mountain, Forest, so I need black and I need white still. So, I want the Godless Shrine, but I can't get the Godless Shrine, so I guess I'll just get this Temple Garden here and put it into... Well, I need the red mana, don't I? Okay, so I guess I can get a Blood Crypt. That gets me the Swamp. Fair enough. Alright, so we'll let this thing resolve, and then we will... bolt it down. Now, this deck does a lot of damage to itself. The Lightning Helixes are pretty nice for offsetting that, but it's something to keep in mind. Fortunately, there is our white mana. That's pretty nice here. So we can fetch out the... Actually, even fetch out the basic plains here, I think. That means our Tarmogoyf, going to be what our Tarmogoyf will be, a 2-3. And, but it means our Helixes will be turned on here. So, and we at that point have, I believe that's all 5 colors. I can't do that. I have to get the Temple Garden because I need to cast my Tarmogoyf. Alright, fair enough. That's fine. Or I can just get the basic force, but I need the white mana. So we will just do all the damage to ourselves. Why not? I can't say I love playing decks like this in terms of dealing myself a bunch of damage to hopefully kill my opponent first. Not typically my MO, but we'll see here. Our opponent is actually just on mono black zombies over there. And there's the Giraffe's Messenger. Alright, that's fine. That knocks us down to 12. But now we just have everything we want here, right? I mean, may as well just play out some lands. What do we need here? We need an island. Island, plains, island, mountain, forest. So we got it. Doesn't really matter here. But we do want to prioritize the red and the white mana. So we'll go ahead and play this Hallowed Fountain. I suppose maybe prioritize the red mana. We'll play the Stomping Ground here. That's it. That's the most complicated part of playing this deck, really. I would not like to pay 2 life. Let's see here. I would like to attack for 3, I guess. I mean, this thing blocks a Giraffe's Messenger quite nicely, but I think Nah, I just got to attack, I think. Honestly, with the life gain from the Lightning Helixes, I might just send all this upstairs at my opponent. Depends what they do here. But it's reasonable, depending on how they play, that we just try to race, because, I mean, realistically, we have 11 points of burn in our hand. Alright, they're going to Fatal Push our Tarmogoyf, though. That was not unexpected. That's fine. And now I have to decide whether or not I want to spend 2 removal spells on this thing while still getting wrecked by it, or if I just want to point the burn at their face. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to see what they follow up with here, because that does impact the decision. A Liliana, huh? Yeah, well, Liliana's pretty good. I am definitely trying to figure out the best way to do this. We also have Bloodbraid Elves in our deck. That gives us some nice hasty stuff. I'm honestly tempted to just point the burn at their face. I think it keeps us alive for a really long time here. And just try to burn them out. That's not ideal there, but such is life, I suppose. As long as my opponent's not gaining life, right? And there's our island. And keep in mind, this is a sorcery. I wonder if I should actually just throw it at my opponent this turn. And if I was going to, I probably wanted to shock myself. I won't. I'll hold off here. Yeah, this game's going to be close, I think. It's crazy, though. They're at 16. I'm like, yeah, I think I can burn them out. But, I mean, realistically, that plan just went out the window. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, I guess sometimes you play burn and you run into Great Merchant of Asphodel. That's pretty good. I don't think we'll be winning this one anymore. I think the plan was fine. Because alternatively, we were going to 2-for-1 ourselves on that. It was going to really hurt. It was not going to feel good. Obviously now, we have no better options, but it doesn't feel very good either. A Gore-Clan Rampager. Well, this is really nice when we're attacking. And you know what? I guess a 4-4 here isn't the end of the world. I could shoot this back down. I could shoot this back down. All right, so looking at the board, do we really have a chance here? I can play the 4-4. I could block this. Can't even trade with it, though, because it's Liliana. I could shoot this down for real with the Tribal Flames and only take 2. My opponent just buys it back with Liliana and we die anyways. I think we're just dead here. That's, I guess we got zombies pretty hard right there. What do I want? Leyline of the Voids, I suppose. Path to Exile, yes. Lingering Souls, most definitely. All right, so let's think this one through here. Leylines are actually pretty good against them. I don't know that I'm the beatdown here. The Knight of Autumns are pretty mediocre, to be honest. So the deck looks like this right now. Let's see here. Don't really think we want Blessed Alliance. I don't want Cindervines here. I don't want Damping Sphere. The Knight of Autumns, I don't think that I need. The Leylines are the big question mark. They are definitely good. I mean, there's going to be Grave Crawlers and stuff. Let's just go for it. Let's cut a Lingering Souls here. I cut the Boros Charm. Trying to just kind of cut around the edges here and see what we can do. Maybe if I'm going to do the Leylines, I don't want quite as many paths. Give this a shot, I guess. Maybe we'll get lucky and have a Leyline here. We did not, but we do have, honestly, a pretty reasonable hand. Turn 2 Manus Rider if we want it. Lingering Souls Bolts. I mean, I'm in. Deal ourselves a bunch of damage here, but it might be worth it. Fingers crossed, no Fatal Push from our opponent. All right, look at that. We got a shot here. Oh, a second Manus Rider. All right, so I can go white, blue, red. That's good enough. White, red, blue. Get the Manus Riders in there. Attack for 4. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is what our deck is capable of. This is how it's supposed to look. This is how you burn opponents out, and that's why, honestly, I think our plan last game was fine, to just burn our opponents out like this. But as you can see, this game is just going to be, this is going to be pretty good for us. So there's white, red, blue again for the second Manus Rider. Get him on in there for 6. I mean, I think our opponent would just be scooping to this one, to be honest. Fatal Pushes need Revolt to kill these. My opponent needs some pretty good removal spells right about now, and Drolf's Messenger not really going to get it done. They're actually just dead if I find a red source, but they're pretty much just dead no matter what. There's the red source. Okay, so we will attack for 6. Put them down to 4. Lightning Bolt. Fetch. Make sure I get something that makes red mana here. Sacred Foundry. And Lightning Helix. Pretty good clean win. Wouldn't you say turn 4? Yeah, I'd say. That's what we're in it for. Now let's see if we can get our Leyline of the Voids now that we're on the draw. That was a lightning fast game. That's the way it's supposed to be. That was sweet, to be honest. I enjoyed that one. And now my opponent, after just trouncing us in game 1 and feeling great about their deck, is like, what in the hell just happened to me? Yeah, that was great. Very aggressive starts backed up by burn. I mean, in a modern metagame like it is right now, where everyone's trying to do crazy unfair things, sometimes just putting them on a super fast clock is good enough. I mean, and 4 lands is a lot in the deck, but I'm going to give it a shot, I guess. And maybe I was supposed to mulligan. I am pretty bad about keeping hands I shouldn't keep. Maybe I was supposed to mulligan. That said, basically any hand that I kept from here on 6 and then getting Inquisitioned would, probably be not that far off. Oh, my opponent actually took the Tribal Flames, huh? I kind of want this Nicatl, so I'm in. Just going to get the basic. Doesn't mean much if they have the Fatal Push, if they Fatal Push. But I may as well save myself a little bit of life here when I have all my land types access to them anyways. Well, okay. I guess this figure is something that cares about the power toughness, but it was going to get it no matter what. Okay, well, this is the getting punished part that feels bad. It really does feel bad when you play a deck with not very many lands and then spam lands off the top like this, but that is the way it goes sometimes. So, I mean, maybe our opponent's not doing anything either, and maybe we got a shot here. I'd like to get this Godly Shrine, I suppose. It seems safe enough. Okay. Thanks for the Arid Mace. At least it's a pretty one. This is hard to win any game when you draw like this, as it turns out. But hey, we're not dead yet. Our opponent's 4 mana. What's the big play? Kalitas? Well, Kalitas is pretty good. I can't kill it, unfortunately. All right, what do I want now? Blood Crypt, probably. Blood Crypt it is. I'm just going to work my domain up here, and there we go. That's not bad. This is obviously what my opponent was looking for, by the way, I would say, is... I'm going to fetch out the basic planes, I think. And keep up the red to Lightning Bolt. Save ourselves our life while we can. I mean, not going to be very many lands left in our deck at this point, to be quite honest. But Lingering Souls here is actually a pretty nice one, because my opponent is most likely going to attack. I'm going to jump block, and then at the end of their turn, or when they try to play a creature or whatever, I'm just going to Lightning Bolt this thing. Now, we can get punished if they play something pre-combat here, but they're not, so that's good. And to be quite honest, depending on what's in their hand, that Lingering Souls could be all we need to get back in the game, right? Like, if Kalitas is the big threat and we take it out with the Lightning Bolt here, and after that they have smaller threats with Lingering Souls, I mean, my opponent's flooding out over there too, so there's the Tribal Flames, which is admittedly not really what I actually want here, but... Alright, flashback our Lingering Souls. By the way, everybody who commented on last week's videos, first of all, before I go any further, thank you for watching. Second of all, I hear that I might have made some mistakes. I don't know. I just read the YouTube comments like everyone else. No, the truth is I actually do want to talk about it. Specifically, and especially if my opponent's going to be doing nothing here. Specifically last week against Boggles, what happened is, my opponent had... You go back and watch the videos, for one. They're great, but they were a lot of fun is what I mean. The deck was cool. I had fun games. But against Boggles, my opponent had like a 18/18 first striking keyword soup creature, and I messed up. Like, I just made a series of mental errors and won the game anyways, because obviously I'm quite skilled at Magic and got very lucky. So there's that. But what I want to talk about is it's something that happens to everybody, and you saw it last week when I played those games. You saw it happen to me. It is so easy to zero in on something. Last week in that particular state, I was like, okay, well, I figured this is how I'm going to have to win, and that's what I'm looking at. And it's so hard as a Magic player, once you've zeroed in on a line or something that matters to you or what you've decided is important, it can be really difficult to take a step back and kind of reset your expectations and say, okay, this is what I thought this game was going to be, but is that what this game actually is? Is the path I thought I needed to take to win, is that really what I need to do to win? There's a lot of those things. And I think if I had taken a step back in that game and reevaluated from scratch, instead of all those little things that had built up through the match that had led to me having the mindset I had in that moment, if instead I had just taken a step back and reevaluated, taking stock of the board and my graveyard and my hand and all of those things, might have been able to catch the mistake. And I think that is an important skill, because everyone's going to make mistakes, but if you can kind of learn to control your own habits and find the ways to catch your own mistakes in a reasonable time frame, it goes a long way. So that was a nice draw, by the way. All right, so there's white, red, blue. Get this Mana Strider in there, and yeah, I'm back to... I'm just going to race my opponent now. At least until they kill my Mana Strider, I'm going to try to race. It seems enormously likely to me that they have a Fatal Push, and this Mana Strider is about to get Fatal Push with Revolt, but... Or not. Maybe not. All right. Well, we got a Lightning Bolt here, and our opponent's at 12. Are we really going to have a chance in this game? My opponent might have just flooded out as hard as I do, and now all of their discard spells off the top of their deck are going to be dead. So this could work out pretty well. I mean, I'm happy to take the 3, go down to 11. Gray Merchant's what we lose to, I think. It drains us for 5 right now, which is pretty painful, to be quite honest. Damnation, though. Okay, well, this is actually going to work out fine, too. I'm going to Lightning Bolt the Drolf's Messenger here. That will cause it to die. It'll come back. I'll lose 2. I'll go down to 9. My opponent will then resolve their damnation. The entire board will be cleared. And now they have 1 card in hand, and I have 0, but I'm drawing. So just like that, we're kind of at parity here. They're at 11. I'm at 9. Fingers crossed. Just what I wanted. So I'm going to check here. Dummy check. Nothing in my graveyard. Okay, fair enough. Not going to crack the fetch. You know, yes, it would very incrementally improve my draw step, but probably wouldn't actually... The damage is more likely to be relevant than that draw step, of course. And there's a land, so that's pretty neat. Okay, Noble Hierarch beatdown. As someone who's played a lot of Lantern Control in their life, I have to say I'm more familiar with the Noble Hierarch beatdown than I'd like to be. That's one of the ways that Lantern often loses to creature-based decks. Is Noble Hierarch exalted attacking through an Ensnaring Bridge. So hey, maybe it'll work here too. We're really just going back and forth, whiffing. My opponent drew their Nykthos. Sweet land. Oh, we've been disfigured. Okay, joke's on you. I've got nothing. I don't really know why that makes the joke on them. It's not a very funny joke either. Alright, that's a good one. Tell me, at the very least, tell me I played the other Wooded Foothills. At least give me that. No? Well, okay. I wanted to know, if I drawn the other one, I at least want to know what the odds are of drawing 3 in a row. But it's, you know, I drew 3 in a row. But there were... Oh, wait, the Wooded Foothills is in play! And I think I think it was the last land I played out of my hand. And then I drew all 3 Wooded Foothills. Somebody out there, one of you I know, is very, very good at math. Please tell me what the odds are of drawing 3 Wooded Foothills in a row when they're the only 3 cards in my deck. Oh, yes. All right, here we go. We're back on the beatdown plan. Unrelated note, Gifted Aetherborn, actually a really sweet modern card. It gives you the 2 devotion for this deck, but it's also just a great... You know, if your opponent is faster than you, it's good. Because it trades with their creatures, trades with their Tarmogoyf, it's lifelink if they're trying to burn you or whatever. And if they're slower than you, it's good because it puts pressure on them and it increases your life total. It's just got a lot going for it. I think it's the Gray Merchant. All right, what is that, 4? Went down to 3. All right, time for the top of the deck to be good to us. Well, that's about as good as it gets. All right, we got something to play with here. We're dead to pretty much anything from our opponent, but... All right, well, you know what? We can put together some blocks right now. My opponent swings out. I'll throw 1 in front of the Gray Merchant, 3 in front of the Aetherborn that even plays around removal. The problem is it takes nothing for our opponent to kill us, right? They kill us with another Gray Merchant. They kill us with a Liliana. Draw off Messengers pretty close to killing us. Yep, that'll do it. All right, everybody. The important thing in this game to take away from this is I need to know the odds of drawing those 3 Wooded Foothills in a row. That's all. Everybody, thank you for watching. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mighty Modern. Let's see if we have any better luck with the next one. Hey, everybody. Let's run back some Tribal Zoo because that game against zombies earlier, that was a rough one. All right, this hand, honestly, this hand might have been a mulligan. I'm not sure. I am on the play, though. The double lightning bolt could be very, very good depending on what our opponent's doing. It only takes 1 land off the top of our deck. You know, we have the colors for pretty much everything right now, too, which is nice. Shambling Mint, huh? There's Lightning Helix. Do I want to shock this in? No, I don't. Not when my opponent's likely to play something I can just Lightning Bolt here. Our hand is kind of lit. I enjoy our hand. I don't know how I feel about Gorklane Rampager in this deck. I mean, it did well. Well, shoot. guess I should have shocked it in, huh? All right, I'll just play well, should I play my 0-1 Tarmogoyf, everybody? What do you think? No, I'm going to, though. I'm actually going to play a 0-1 Tarmogoyf because my opponent, anything they're going to kill this Tarmogoyf with is going to kill it no matter what. I may as well get it down. Next turn, I'll kill the Thalia, and I can try to attack. It is quite sad to see the 0-1 Lorgoyf, though. Gorklane Rampager is a sweet card in this deck. Very, very good when you're attacking. Pretty bad in a game like this, though, where we might miss land drops. Or Displacer is pretty good. Tribal Flames. Okay, so all this is... Thalia is clearly the biggest problem here. That said, got to kill Displacer first, or Thalia will just eat us up. We'll never... Displacer just blink the Thalia. We're always going to have to kill the Displacer, so may as well get in for 2, I guess, here. Arguable, I could keep it back to block, but that's not really the game our deck wants to play here. We have a billion pieces of burn, haste threats, blood rush, weird mechanic from Gatecrash. Actually pretty cool. Pretty gruel mechanic. Unfortunately, Thought Not Seer from the Eldrazi side of the Eldrazi and Taxes deck. That one, I don't know what we're going to do about. My opponent's going to look at my hand and think our deck's cool, which it is. If I'm them, what do you want to do here? Probably the Manus Rider, to be honest. Maybe even like the Gore Clan. I don't know. It depends what you think's the biggest threat. You could also get blown out. I was gonna say you get blown out by me drawing a land and being able to Tribal Flames the Thought-Knot Seer to death. So that play makes a lot of sense as well. And my opponent knows about the Gore Clan now. That's not great. I'm gonna attack with this Tarmogoyf though. They're not gonna block. There's no way. See? Bluff called. We got in there. And now we can play this Tarmogoyf as a blocker for the Thalia. So, I mean, all in all, things are not looking great for us, and we're taking at least 4 this turn. That said, we've got this Helix. We've got all these resources if we can just find some lands. And, yeah, remember these resources, grow the Goyfs as we go here, too. So we've got a lot working for us. Excuse me. Just need to find a land. Obviously, our opponent could blow us out with a bunch of different stuff here. And let's see what it is. 3 mana. No, 1 mana. All the mana. Oh my gosh. For starters, that's a Kaya. That's cool. But more importantly, what is this Kaya? Full art Kaya? How do I get one of these? This is the Mythic Edition? I didn't even know they had these on Magic Online. I want one. Speaking of, the announcement came out this week or last week by the time you watch this, for the 3D cards, the foil premium versions on Arena, and they're pretty cool. I have to say, I can't wait to foil out my Merfolk deck. All right, so Kaya has had a really good weekend in Tampa. In the decks, a lot of really good decks playing this card. It's actually making its way into Modern here. So 3 loyalty, 3 mana, +1, exile 2 cards from sealed graveyard. You gain 2 life if a creature card was exiled this way. So, for instance, one of the cards in Modern that Kaya happens to be very good against, unfortunately, is our Tarmogoyfs. So, that's not ideal, is it? You can also exile a permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less, and then -5. Kaya Orzhov Usurper deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards they own in exile, and you gain that much life. So, Kaya is honestly pretty well suited for Modern. There's a lot of 1 mana threats. It just gets to exile. These black-white decks already have a lot of good stuff going on. Excuse me. I don't know why there was a Thought-Knot Seer image there, but whatever. Okay, so my opponent has... It's going to work out okay for us, so... Maybe, depending on what we draw here. Beautiful. All right, we're set. Okay, so this was very, very good for us, to be honest. Let's just give it trample. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attack the Kaya with both, I think. Maybe. Yeah, this is really easy. I'm just going to attack Kaya with both of these. My opponent can't block. And before damage, I'll just crack the fetch. And now I have to figure out what I want to do with that fetch. But what I think I want to do is just get a land put into play tapped here. So what do we need? We have red, green, white, blue. That's pretty good. Blood Crypt, probably. That gives us access to black. As well as... Well, I need black and I need white. Or I need black and I need blue. So that's on... oh my gosh, is any of this an option? What am I going to fetch here? Do I have to get the Steam Vents? Red, blue, white? Yeah, I think I have to get the Steam Vents so I can actually play the Manus Rider. Which, to be fair, is another option. I could just get the Manus Rider here, but I think I like killing the Thalia a little better. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Steam Vents, put it into play tapped. That allows us to take down Kaya, which is very, very good for us. And now, I guess I pass the turn. The question is if we think we get blown out in some way by holding this Lightning Bolt. I don't think that I do. I think I'm okay just passing the turn here. I'm pretty excited to play Knight of Autumn in this deck. I haven't actually, I haven't got a chance to do anything with it yet, right? But this is just such a fun card. Modal options are always cool, and this has got some really nice options. Especially in game 1. All right, so, yep, that's kind of what I thought would happen here. We're just going to Lightning Bolt the Thalia. Wouldn't be surprised if my opponent's actually sandbagging another one over there, given sort of the way they haven't done that much in a few turns now, right? Feels like They have a bunch of cards. It's got to be something over there. We're down to 7, but we do have a Lightning Helix here. Remember, Knight of Autumn gains life, too. I'll tell you what is going to be scary. Is these Ghost Quarters. My opponent has... They have not seen my hand, I guess. So that's something. I thought... Was that a different game I'm thinking of? No, they got our Tribal Flames. They did see our hand with a Thought-Knot Seer right here in front of me. I was looking for a discard spell. Yeah. So they know what we've got. So they know that Ghost Quarter is actually going to be pretty effective against us. Okay. I don't hate that, actually, for us. I mean, it's not good for us necessarily, but it's actually not the end of the world either. Our Tarmogoyfs, by the way, are getting quite big now. And with this Gorkland Rampager to follow, it's pretty nice. I mean, we'll see what our opponent takes. We draw a land. I don't hate that. Thought Knot comes back. We're ahead on board with these Tarmogoyfs, at least as it currently stands. And I think if my opponent wanted to try to hide behind Kaya and really neuter the Goyfs, maybe they should have kept that Thought-Knot Seer back. Not sure. All right, they took our Mantis Rider. That does make sense. There's a Hierarch, huh? Okay, so options abound, as they say. I think step 1 is to attack with one of these. Would assume that they'll just take it. Yep. All right, so here's the thing. We have one... Oh, wait, they do have... So are they going to path it? All right, I'm in. Works for me. Go get our... I guess our forest. I don't know that it matters too much here. Okay, so we do no damage. Our opponent's down to 1 card in hand. That's very good for us. I'm going to play out the Hierarch, and I'm going to... I guess I'll pass the turn. Now, obviously, the Flicker Wisp is going to have to get Lightning Helix here in all likelihood, but maybe my opponent does something different. You know, maybe they... Well, this is kind of bad for us no matter what. I was thinking even if they play Displacer, I'd want to hit the Displacer, but... All right, well, we're going to fetch in response to that. Now, same if they have Displacer, though, I still have to shoot it in response because they'd have the mana to activate it, so we'd be in trouble no matter what. All right, so keep in mind our opponent can Ghost Quarter us out of this game, so we need redundancy here. We have 2 blue. We only have 1 white right now, and I definitely need white. I have 1 green. This would give me a 3rd green. That doesn't matter. So I do want white, though. Maybe white-red or white-black. Now, it's definitely got to be white-black here, even though this is a pretty obvious target for my opponent to Ghost Quarter. I think it's correct. Yep, that's fine. Still 1 card in hand over there. And this is where we shoot the Flicker Wisp down. Hopefully, anyways. Alright, it worked. We're up to 9. Our opponent's got 1 card in hand. I mean, we might be in an okay position here. I guess I could turn my Knight of Autumn into a 4-3. That is big enough to rumble on in there with the Thought Knot and the Leonin Arbiter. In fact, it also... Alright, the Ghost Quartering begins here. I mean, this is what happens. The Leonin Arbiter is just going to get us. So, fortunately, Noble Hierarch is going to do quite a bit of work to bail us out, to be quite honest. I think I get in there with the Tarmogoyf here. We even have a little bit of a life total cushion, thanks to that Helix. So we'll get in for 5, I think. Put our opponent down to 12. And just play Knight of Autumns, I suppose. I like it. Okay, I'll choose one, huh? I'd like to gain 4 life. No, I'd like to put 2 counters on it. Okay. All right, we got a 4-3 Knight of Autumn. We're doing it. This is like the least exciting option on Knight of Autumn, I think. I think obviously, you know, Rex Saging something is the most exciting option for Knight of Autumn here. And gaining life, though, it's like gaining life isn't necessarily super cool. Okay, that's really bad for us. As gaining life is in itself not super cool, but the fact is, the only time you really gain life with this card is when it's going to be super relevant, and that is cool, right? Making it a 4-3 feels pretty good too, though. 4-3 for 3. Obviously, Kaya is very scary, but this is super relevant. They're hitting themselves, hitting a Thalia and their other Kaya. Yeah, that makes sense. Removes the Planeswalker for the Tarmogoyf. The issue for our opponent here is that none of this matters, right? They're just... For lack of a better way to put it, they're still kind of just dead here. This goes at Kaya. this goes at Kaya. This is just going to eat them up. Red and green, right? I have red and green. You know, I questioned the Gore clan a little bit earlier, but it's looking pretty solid right now, huh? All right, so Kaya taken care of. Tarmogoyf back up to a 4-5. Opponent out of cards. Things looking where we want them to be right now. I get to play out another Knight of Autumn, get another 4-3. This one might just slam the door on this game. This has been a really fun game, actually. I really enjoyed this one. Not over, of course. My opponent rips, you know, Eldrazi Displacer off the top. It helps if they killed a couple of their own lands with the Ghost Quarters here, but, you know, Knight of Autumn off the top, Eldrazi Displacer off the top for them is just incredibly powerful here out of this deck. They'd be able to play it, immediately have open and activation thanks to the Temple. Start blinking their Thought Knots here, and things get ugly pretty quickly for us. That said, if we can fade this draw step, our attacks next turn are actually just not quite lethal, but very close. Let's see what they hit. Oof. Big oof. Big oof. That's a nice one. That's a very nice one here. I love Wasteland Strangler. When it enters the battlefield, you can put a card from exile that I own. Wait a minute. They're going to give me... Is any of this going to help my Goyf? Probably not. They'll just give me a creature. So they're going to get to take down one of my Knight of Autumns. Unfortunately, my Knight of Autumn that was on blocking duty, now I have to take 6. That doesn't feel very good. Honestly, that changed the game quite a bit. Red, green, red, green, question mark? Do I win the game? 9 plus 8, that's 17. You have 2 toughness. Wow, I'm so good at this game. Oh my gosh. And they're just 1 mana short of firing up their Shambling Vent too. Oh jeez. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for my opponent. This is dirty. It's because I wasn't sold on the Gore Clan Rampagers. That's unreal. Oh, I have 1 more than I needed. We did it onto the sideboard. What a game. I just want more Knight of Autumns now. Woo! All right, so what do we actually want here? I think I like the Blessed Alliances, to be honest. I definitely want the Lingering Souls. I want the Path here. So as much as I loved it, I'm going to cut one of the Gore Clans here and possibly the other. I love Blessed Alliance as a combat trick. I really do. And in games like this where the board's gonna get weird, things are gonna get gummed up, you don't know what's gonna happen. Blessed Alliance just does it all. It messes up their alpha strike because you can gain life, you can untap your creatures for combat tricks, you get to make them sacrifice. It just does so much. And when the game's gonna go long, you can afford it. Now it's a little worse in our deck, given that we're not exactly gonna have 6 mana on the regular, but it's still pretty good. So. All right, so what else do we need to do here, though? I got to figure out if I'm the beatdown or the control, and that basically decides what we do with the Rampagers. But here in Game 2, I kind of feel like I just want to answer everything they do. Which leads me to cutting, like, a couple Tribal Flames. Give this a shot. Now, keep in mind, that this is really weird. Again, as always, disclaimer every week, I'm not an expert with any of these decks. That's why I misplay. But it means I'm not an expert on the sideboarding either, obviously. But I think that it's okay, given that our opponent is, a mana denial deck, to not worry about Tribal Flames, right? If we have all 5 land types, we're probably winning anyways. That's not actually going to be our issue here. Okay. So I think the Temple Garden does the most for us here. For this Nacatl, and because this is the one that provides 2 colors of mana towards our Manus Rider. It's the thing that provides colors for the Manus Rider while also putting our Nacatl out there. And the Stomping Ground we can follow up with to make it a 3/3. And we should have all the options available to us at that point. The land was going to be Temple Garden or Stomping Ground. Probably didn't matter too much. Opponent doing nothing. I like that. I also like 3 Bloodbraid Elves in my hand, to be quite honest. Alright, just fetch now. I need a mountain here. Probably the Steam Vents that I can't fetch. That's unfortunate. Well, I do need a mountain. I guess it's the Sacred Fountain. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just have a 2/2 for a turn. Maybe this was... I should have thought more. I should have thought this fetched through slightly more, I suppose, here. I mean, red and green are all I need here. As long as I get... I have to get blue with this, right? That's what it comes down to. I have to get blue. So I can get Breeding Pool or I can get Hallowed Fountain. Hallowed Fountain, I think I definitely don't need. I'm going to get the Breeding Pool. We have the basic plains, so Breeding Pool it is here. A little wasteful, I think. I think if you're, someone interested in a deck like this, if you're the kind of person who likes to attack for a bunch of damage and Tribal Flames your opponent out for 10, that sort of thing, one of the things I would recommend working on and learning with the deck is your sequencing. And sequencing is very important. You can see I missed a point of damage there, I think, by poorly sequencing, not thinking that through, not being super cognizant of exactly what all of my fetch lands can fetch at any given time, and that sort of thing can really punish you. So, that said... Now I'm just going to play Manus Rider. White, blue, red. Manus Rider, get on in there. Along with the Nicodle. So my opponent has done nothing so far. And that means they're about to come out of the gates hard, I imagine, when they untap here. So we'll see if they have anything to violin. Probably they're going to path something. That's fine with me too. Go get my basic forest here. And we'll get in for 3. Alright, so, I mean, this was fine for us. What I'm worried about here, and our hand is obviously insane, but imagine if my opponent just goes Thought Not Seer, Flicker Wisp, Violent Flicker Wisp, right? All of a sudden we're out 2 cards in our hand. And I'd be very concerned about that happening, given that they just did nothing for the first several turns. But they're leading with Aether Vial, actually. They're leading on the Flicker Wisp, huh? That's interesting. I wonder what they're going to blink with it. My Stomping Ground. Okay. I guess. I see. Oh, that's dirty. You can't do that. You can't do that? Did I just get land destructioned? What? Did the black-white deck just really LD me with their creatures? Alright, everybody. I don't even know what magic. What is the color play? We're playing against black-white creature land destruction over there. Look, I know Reign of Tears exists, okay? I understand Armageddon exists. It's not the color play that's out of whack here. It's the fact they're doing it to me with creatures. Pretty sweet, actually. But now my opponent sees what's up. They know that I have these Bloodbraid Elves, and they know that we're going to start trying to do something with them. Alright, so Arid Mesa here. I have Forest. I want red, black. I want Blood Crypt. And now we just roll the dice on these Bloodbraid Elves and hope that they're good enough. And you know what? That's a pretty good one. Yep, I'll get in there with both. I feel pretty good about this play. Vigilance on Manus Rider coming in clutch here, because, if my opponent decides, hey, I want to race, and they just take this, well, I'll just gladly trade the Manus Rider with the Flicker Wisp. And if they want to block, they block. So, this is a little interesting in that our opponent, we're both at 12, but they have 2 cards in hand after their draw step. They even have the Shambling Vent they can fire up. It's a little, maybe it was incorrect of me to attack with maybe I was supposed to keep the Bloodbraid back on defense? That's not how it's supposed to work, right? I don't know, though. I mean, here they come in for 7. Down to 5. I guess I actually am just playing defense now. Let's see what this next Bloodbraid hits. If we're lucky. Well, we're going to get Aether Vial out of the game. Flicker Wisp again? I guess I want my Knight of Autumns. I want all the Knight of Autumns in. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting right there. Alright. We still have a shot here. We just have to Bloodbraid into... if we Bloodbraid into Helix or something, we're still fine. Helix to get rid of the Flicker Wisp. And just draw a Lightning Bolt. That's pretty good, too. guess I can get a Steam Vents and put myself down to 2. I mean, I guess I'll do this. I'll give myself the option anyways. Let's see what we hit with the Bloodbraid Elf. Alright, fingers crossed. I'm so good at Magic today, everybody. This is the actual perfect card, I think. Alright, I cannot flash it back yet. I'm going to play defense. I changed my mind. No more attacking. My opponent's out of cards. This Lingering Souls is just going to eat them up. If they whiff on this draw step, they're in so much trouble. I mean, depending on what they do, I could even, you know, put myself in for a world of hurt and go to 2 and lightning bolt them. And that's probably what I'm going to do. Let's see if they swing out here. They do. Oh, not with the Flicker Wisp. Huh. Let's see. I guess I might as well just put myself down to 2, right? Because I'm going to 2 anyways. If my opponent has... If they drew another Flicker Wisp off the top, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, but that's just true anyway, so... I need the Sacred Foundry or the Steam Vents here. I got the basic plan, so I guess we'll get the Steam Vents. Go down to 2. Cross our fingers and try to lightning bolt this Wasteland Strangler. It's going to be close. Definitely going to be a close one here. You know, the good news is that if we make it through this turn, we get to flashback our Lingering Souls. I won't forget it this week, I promise. And we'll go from there. All right, lightning bolt down the Wasteland Strangler. Board is clear. Except for the Flicker Wisp, but that's what Lingering Souls is for. All right, let's see if we can top deck out of this one. Tarmogoyf, pretty good. Oops, that's red. Black, white. Get some Lingering Souls action in here. That's 2 creatures that can trade with Flicker Wisp. And we'll play Tarmogoyf, and now we have a beater as well, a 4/5, as it were. So, pass the turn back to our opponent and basically cross our fingers. I mean, here at 2 life, we're still dead to a lot of stuff. Displacer is pretty bad for us. Wasteland Strangler even is pretty bad for us, right? There's a lot of cards that are bad against, that are, you know, bad for us right now. But actually, Leonin Arbiter is not one of them. Double Leonin Arbiter even. Although at 2 life, that's actually more of a problem than it looks. Oh my gosh. The Wooded Foothills, everybody. The Wooded Foothills tonight. I can't attack. The worst part about drawing this Wooded Foothills is that I know I'm going to draw 2 more. So let's start thinking about how we win the game after we draw 2 more Wooded Foothills. Oh, that'll do it. All right, GG. GG, friend. Let's play game 3. I'm not beating Displacer. Knight of Autumns, get back in here. Gore Clan Rampagers, get back in here. We're going on the beatdown this time. I changed my mind. I'm going to kill him. Actually, I'm going to try to find something in between here. The truth is, we actually really are set up well to be the control deck in the matchup. The beauty about Gore Clan too is that they're going to play around it for the rest of the game. They lost game 1 to it. They're going to play around it for the rest of the match, regardless of whether or not it's in our deck. So maybe I just lean on that. I like the Knight of Autumns. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this sideboard here. This is just an odd matchup. It's like, I can see all these cards are good. Like, Lingering Souls is definitely really important against Flicker Wisp and so on. But what the heck am I supposed to cut? All these cards are so good. I really do feel like we have to be the control deck, though. That's the thing. I think we actually do have to be the control deck because my opponent has these late game engines that are just better than ours. I mean, we can either try to beat them down, but the thing is, a good draw from them just completely neuters what we're doing. I think that we're better off trying to be the control deck. I don't know. Like, what would it look like if I just said I'm going to kill my opponent, right? I would cut some of this stuff. My deck would look like this. Is this better? Is this better than playing Lingering Souls and stuff? The thing is, between discard spells and Thought Knots and all that, it's just so easy for our opponent to disrupt that game plan. But they can't do that when we're playing when we go the sort of the control route, right? That's what I'm gonna try. Maybe it's that I'm just biased against attacking, which, I mean, to be fair, I probably am a little, but the thing is, It's so hard. There's so much to balance here. 61 card special? What to do? Whatever, 61 card special. I'm at a loss. I give up. White flag. I don't know how to sideboard this deck. But I guess I'm into this hand. This hand seems pretty solid. We can play... I mean, Nikotl into Lightning Helix into Mana Strider into Pathy or whatever is going to be pretty good. And if we can do that... Have to look at our lands here and keep in mind that Godless Shrine does not contribute to Mana Strider. So we're going to want to go Temple Garden into Arid Mesa and then hopefully find a third land that can play the Mana Strider. It's going to be really the only way, I think, to get through this, to sequence this out. I guess my opponent's in a tank on their 7, though. It's probably good for us. All right, here we go. Off to the races. Let's play a Wild Nikotl immediately and see what we can do here. Pass the turn back to our opponent. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of those games, I think, where how it goes is just going to be very much a matter of whose draw lines up against the other draw. And my opponent has his Aether Vial first here, so we might be able to... Ooh, I like drawing Tarmogoyf, too. We might be able to beat down a little bit here. All right, what do I want to get? So I need green. I don't necessarily need green, but I do need blue. I need blue and I need red. So I need to get the Steam Vents. Yeah, obviously we end up being the beatdown role in this game where I didn't anticipate being the beatdown, but... Or rather, we sideboarded, you know, to not have to be the beatdown, and here we are just absolutely beating down our opponent. But this might work out pretty well, depending on what we draw. If we hit a land that will allow us to cast Mana Strider, all of a sudden this game looks really, really good for us. You know, that gets in. My opponent, you know, if they path it or what have you, then we get some more mana. I don't know. The Aether Vial is definitely the kind of card that they want here to try to get back in this. But if they just play... This is a Leonin Arbiter. It is. Yeah, that's pretty... Not necessarily great for them. You know, that said, obviously I didn't... Well... Huh. This is hard. Lots of options. So I can path and play Tarmogoyf. The problem with that line is that it means I have 2-3 Tarmogoyfs, my opponent gets rammed into a Thought-Knot Seer. I cannot play my Mana Strider. I could Lightning Helix the Arbiter and play a tapped land. I actually think that's the play I have to make here. I don't love this play, but I also don't want my opponent to untap and LD us out of the game when we're already kind of, you know, on eggshells over here with our mana. But this also allows us to get in for 6. It doesn't get the Tarmogoyf into play, which is what I wanted. Obviously, I would have preferred to add a non-hasty threat to the board so that we can attack with it next turn. But I had to just take that Arbiter out, or we weren't going to be able to play the game. And unfortunately, it looks like our opponent is just going to have another one here anyways. No, a Scholar. All right. That's a lot better for us. They can look at our hand. I mean, I don't know what they're going to take. They might take the Mana Strider. They might take the Path. But they could also go land Wasteland Strangler. It'd be pretty bad for us. In fact, that one might kill us. If they Wasteland Strangler our Tarmogoyf to our graveyard here and use the ability to kill our Wild Nikotl, I think we're going to be in trouble. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And this is why, everybody, I chose to be the control deck in the matchup, because this is not a line that we can beat playing aggro. That is just such an absurd 2-for-1. 2-for-0? Like, this is just unreal value for them. So, that's a nice one for us. All right, let's attack with the Goyf. Beautiful. So now my opponent's going to attack, and I'm going to use this Blessed Alliance to untap my creatures and eat one of theirs. I can even path after that, I suppose, if I need. Put our opponent down to 4? Possibly if they attack with both and then we path their attacker or their blocker that they have after that, maybe. This game's still going to be a challenge. My opponent kept their Vial on 2. Yeah, this is still... We're still got a long ways to go here, and they actually did nothing, huh? Well, okay, I guess. Interesting decisions all around. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and... Oh, what do we want here? I have to figure this out. We need white mana. White mana comes at a premium. Sacred Foundry, good. That gives us a second source of red. We already have 2 white, though. Red-green might actually just be best. Then I have white, blue. White. I still have white, blue, red if I get this, because I can go red, blue from the Steam Vents. And I can still even path. Yeah, I guess that's got to be the play. Alright, red, white, blue. Get the Manus Rider down. Now, my opponent has that Shambling Vent that they can use to try to gain life next turn. But honestly, if they don't have an actual path to deal with this Manus Rider right now, things get kind of awkward for them. And I think they know we have paths. So if they go for the double block here... Huh. Okay. That was an interesting decision by my opponent. Down to 1 life. I mean, I guess they knew they didn't have blocks. I might have just chump blocked for the Scholar or something, though. Another Vial. That's fine, I guess. They have 1 card left. If their plan is just... I mean, I think they might just be dead. They have to have an answer to the Manus Rider. Well, that'll probably just do it. My opponent's... It doesn't... If they fire up, they have a Flicker Wisp, right? That's just got to be what's going on here. I'm just going to move to combat. And I'm going to just lean on this path, I think, to try to win the game. But we will attack with both of these. My opponent has to have something or they're just dead. What is this? What are you doing? What's going on? I mean, that order's fine. I mean, I guess it's actually not, but... I'm so confused by what my opponent's doing here. Are they just bluffing us, or they actually have something for the Manus Rider? I want to path the Wasteland Strangler here. Is that what my opponent's counting on? I'm so confused. I want to path the Wasteland Strangler and take my... my 1 for 0, whatever, my Tarmogoyf feeding their thing. But my opponent's only way... If they have Flicker Wisp in hand, what they really... We don't even have any cards in exile? Right? Is that true? I mean, is one of these an exile pile? I don't even think we have any cards in exile, which means that doesn't even work for them. And if I path, I still won't? So that play's not even that good for them? I'm so confused. I'm just going to path the Wasteland Strangler. My thought is that even if my opponent has the Flicker Wisp here, I have nothing for them to process, so they can't even get my Strangler, or they can't even strangle my Manus Rider to death, which means that Flicker Wisp is going to have to target the Manus Rider no matter what. Really, I mean, that or they just have nothing, and it was, it's just they're playing to their outs of me being scared or whatever. Okay, 3 mana. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Still the same issue, though, right? They still have to hit the Manus Rider. So this actually doesn't even really work for them. It's bad for us when they untap, though. Alright, so Wasteland Strangler's still going to go. Depending on what they want to do with Displacer. Gosh, they can just displace the Scholar. This is pretty bad for me. But they have to displace the Manus Rider. They're dead though. So we found the right time to play the Manus Rider. That's for sure. We get to eat the Scholar. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough for our opponent here. Now they do still have the Shambling Vent, but that that fights against the Displacer plane to try to stay alive. They do have 6 mana, so they can actually just displace both of my creatures and allow me to not attack. But the Bloodbraid Elf beats them in that scenario. So, on board, they're not dead. And the Blessed Alliance is actually kind of bad here. Gore Clan wouldn't have been any better against a Displacer, but... I mean, they also might attack, and I'll just get them. No, they didn't. That's fine. All of that said, I think that just playing this Bloodbraid Elf should be enough. I mean, we might just hit the burn spell in the game immediately. That's pretty good, too. This should be enough. Just the haste creature. My opponent is going to have to hit something off their vial here. They can blink 2 creatures. They can vial something in to not die. But even then, they're really up against it come next turn. So their backs are up against the wall here. I don't know if they play sweepers. It's probably the kind of thing they need. Hard to say exactly. They are beginning the blinks, though. And we are an attacker, so they would still be able to block. You know, I guess firing up the Shambling Vent is kind of the same, but that involves a chump block from the Displacer. It all depends on what they drew. This match has been crazy, actually. It's been pretty fun. You can see, though, remember, like we said, Gore Clan would not have won it here, but the Lingering Souls was perfect. I am very glad that I went with this particular sideboard plan. My opponent ripping Path to Exile there. That's kind of a blowout. Maybe a little bit of a blowout. Actually, it all kind of... Oh, yeah, it's all still the same. They actually have to lose their Displacer no matter what here. Path was one of the cards that keeps them alive, but not in a good way. And Ghost Quartering themselves. Okay. I think that might... Oh, this allows them an extra land. Oh, this is actually a really nice play. Right? Did it give them an extra colorless source somehow? No, they still only have 5 mana. What was the line? There was no line. There was nothing there. I thought they had outsmarted me. There was nothing there. They were just dead. That was a fun match, though. I was like, did they somehow net an extra colorless mana or something? No, they didn't. That play didn't work. They have 5 mana. That was a sweet one. Bloodbraid Elf still good in 2019. There's another. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching. Oh, Tribal Zoo. This was a good one. Let's run another back and see what we can do. Hey everybody, here we go with some more Mining Modern Tribal Zoo. Well, this is certainly Tribal Zoo. I mean, it's tribal burn at this point, I guess. Lots of options here. I guess I'll just go with the Wooded Foothills. I'm really tempted, since I don't know what my opponent is playing, to just get a basic forest. But it probably makes more sense to get like a Stomping Ground or something here. I'll give that a shot. I'm just so adverse to dealing myself damage with my mana base in Modern, but I mean, this is a deck that you pretty much just have to accept it. You know, all of that said, there's a lot of burn in our hand. We have basically access. The Tribal Flames is going to be worth 5. That's 11 points of burn just out of nowhere. My opponent has chosen Human, though. So, all right, they have a Hierarch of their own. This might work out okay for us. Yep. All right, so I think what I'm just going to do here is keep things fairly straightforward. I'm going to fetch probably the Hallowed Fountain. I'm definitely going to be a little painful with my mana base here, unless I think I can afford to just get the Plains to Helix this thing. I think I'm probably going to have to do that. All right, well, Helix their Hierarch down, attack with our own. Yeah, I mean, the whole 11 points of burn thing, really only relevant if we think we're just going to be able to burn our opponent out, and against humans, that's obviously not going to be the case. So, no idea what the humans matchup is like for this deck, but hey, if you go 12-3 to GP with it, surely you've run into the matchup once or twice. Let's see what they have here. Is this a, it's a Thalia. Okay, well, you know what? Thalia is pretty beatable for me. I said we need a beater. We need our own. No, that's not what we need. We need a creature. That is definitely what we need. All right, well, we'll bolt the Thalia away. I mean, we are doing a good job at step 1 of playing against humans, which is kill every creature they play, but the problem is we're going to have to find something to go over the top eventually. I mean, I would love to draw, for instance, Bloodbraid Elf off the top of my deck after, say, I path whatever their next creature is and go from there. So we'll see. If this is a Manus Rider, it certainly looks like it is. I'm just going to path it, get on with my life, and hope to draw a Bloodbraid to turn the corner. Our deck actually looks, you know, somewhat similar to a human's deck. They're down to 3 cards in hand. What do I want here? So I think I'll get the Blood Crypt with this one. If I get an island, I'll have blue, white, red, green, and I just need black, which I can get with the Foothills. So I think I get the Hallowed Fountain here. And we did pay we paid 3 life to this thing, but that's okay. We'll path it. Guess we'll get in with our Noble Hierarch again. All right, show me a threat, please. Oh, not quite. Not quite. At least it wasn't a Wooded Foothills. All right, opponent's down to 17. Blood Crypt into play tapped here. We have domain. We have all the domain. Wooburg, as they say. White, blue, black, red, green. We've got it all. This is a 5-point Tribal Flames. Unfortunately, our opponent at 17 life. And that means this Tribal Flame is probably going to have to kill a creature. I mean, the good news is when you do, Humans is sort of a critical mass deck. You know, they have a lot of cards that are somewhat mediocre to bad on their own. Even Athalia's Lieutenant or something here would obviously be pretty medium to bad even. So we have a chance to get back in this game. All it takes is a good top deck. And Manus Rider is great for us. Bloodbraid is obviously the best. We've got a lot of good draws. That said, our opponent still has 3 cards in hand. And one of them's an Ether Vial, but the other 2 might be good. A Meddling Mage. Well, I don't think they're named Tribal Flames, but they might. I don't know what they're supposed to name here. Maybe even like Bloodbraid Elf or something. Yeah, they actually did name Tribal Flames. Nice call. Nice call, I suppose. Oh my gosh, the Flood. All right. We are officially onto the back foot here. Nice name with the Meddling Mage. That's for sure. I didn't even convinced it made sense to name it, but it certainly worked out for him here. Now they have a pretty perfect hand. Actually, their hand was, outside of the Terminal Vial, their hand was insane. All right, I'll take a billion. What am I at? 9? Okay, let's see what we draw. Okay, here's our Manus Rider. Blue, white, red. Manus Rider, get in there. We actually have the superior Manus Rider for this attack step, at least. Get in for 4. Not out of this game yet, by any stretch. My opponent, if they whiff on their next draw step, they slam their Manus Rider. I mean, they don't even have good attacks, actually. All they can do is attack with their Manus Rider, to be honest. Yeah, Rising Canopy, a redraw. That's why Humans is a great deck. Their mana base digs them deeper. Let's see what they have. I mean, we do obviously get incredibly blown out by... Oh, do they? Yeah, that's one of them. All right, have to block. Down to 6. The things could turn very fast, so if we hit any removal spell for the lightning for the Meddling Mage, we can then Tribal Flames the Manus Rider, and we're back to even here. Drawing the Coddle, it's not very good. I mean, it's a 3/3 for 1. It is pretty good, right? But not exactly here. I don't know how to sideboard against Humans. We're going to figure it out on the fly, I suppose. All right, Vial stays on 2. My opponent draws. And they just come in with the team, huh? Why would you attack me with a Thalia? You drew another Thalia? It's the only reason. It doesn't... They got the Lieutenant. We were dead no matter what. Yep. It's, in order of draw steps there, it was Horizon Canopy into Phantasmal Ocean and Thalia's Lieutenant. I think we went to Wooded Foothills Land. Manus Rider. Pretty good for them. All right, onto the sideboard here. What do we even want against Humans? I hate playing against Humans. Let's see here. Lingering Souls are probably good, right? Knight of Autumn seems good. Blessed Alliance seems good. We don't want to let them have the satisfaction of knowing we had Tribal Flames. This matchup seems like it seems okay for us probably, but it's probably not, incredible. I don't actually know how many Knight of Autumns I want here. I think I'll probably just stick with the 2. I don't know. I like Blessed Alliance because it kills creatures at instant speed like Manus Rider. I also like Lingering Souls, but like Lingering Souls probably doesn't actually do anything against humans. Like, it's obviously not bad, but I don't know if it's really winning us the game either. Give this a shot. Got some removal here. Guess I'll go with this one first. We draw Lightning Bolt. That's the spell I'm most likely to hold up while playing another tap land, as opposed to, say, the Temple Garden first here. All right, there's that. So this is going to get Blessed Alliance out. I mean, that's... Well, there's... Punished. I drew the Nikado, right? I did, in fact, cost myself 2 life because I drew Nikado instead of a burn spell, instead of a bolt. That's fine, though. I do have the option to path if I need it. Hopefully, I won't have to take that option. Champion of the Parish seems relatively beatable for us. And as long as this is not a Thalia's Lieutenant, we should be able to still get it with the Blessed Alliance on the next turn. Yep, Noble Hierarch I don't particularly care about. It's also a creature we can still attack into with our Nikado. What's the 1 white for, though? What are they doing with this? They have another champion? Oh, they have a Dismember for our Nikado. That's fine. I wonder if I path this thing. I might just path it. I might just refuse to take damage from this thing because... It's one thing to not want to give them a land, but when once they show me the Hierarch, I mean, in all likelihood, they have their 3 mana, and they probably are gonna have 4 mana. I may as well just do it at that point. And I still have 2 pieces of removal, so. Oh, also apparently they have 1 basic plains in their deck. Well, that works out. In that case, do I just shoot this stupid Hierarch? Try to mana screw him out of the game? Tempting. Why not? I'm in. What I like about this line is it means if my opponent has Manus Rider, I still get it here. And if they have Thalia's Lieutenant or something, this is the play I wanted. I was going to possibly have to make that play no matter what. Oh, they had the other land in hand. They have 2 basics in their deck, I guess, but it was in hand. But here comes the Manus Rider, maybe? Oh, Thalia. Okay. Fair enough. I'll just pass the turn back here. Drawing our 4th land, not so bad. I mean, we can just hardcast Gorkland as a 4/4. Green, huh? Noble Hierarch, sure. Just going to Helix it. I think this is I want to save the Blessed Alliance because it might actually do more than just kill a creature later. What do we want to fetch here? Probably the Blood Crypt. We need blue, though, right? And I have white, which means I want... Really, I want this Steam Vents I can't get, but I guess I'll get the Breeding Pool. Yeah, that's fine. I suppose. Maybe I want the... I'm just playing Gorkland next turn, right? So I'll just get this Breeding Pool. It seems fine. Gives us our blue mana. And now we draw a Lightning Bolt, so that's pretty nice as well. I won't be bolting this one, I don't think, now that they've shown me another land. So that means we have a bunch of options, and I'm just going to go with this. I'm just going to play the Gorkland Rampager. We don't have any other creatures out. We're not going to be blood rushing, but I mean, actually just playing a 4/4 against humans, if you make it to that point of the game, has some value in itself. You know, that's bigger than a lot of their creatures. All right, this looks like it's a Manus Rider. Nope, still not. Deputy of Detention, you say, huh? Okay, that's cool. So when Deputy of Detention enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls and all other permanents with the same name until it leaves the battlefield. So this is a risky play for our opponent, I would say. I mean, they played the cards they have, right? It's not a human... Oh my gosh, we just have so much here. An embarrassment of removal riches. But yeah, if my opponent decides to... I guess they won't. I say if they decide to get cheeky with their Hierarch again, they just get blown out. But Guess they are. Well, I will be Lightning Helixing this thing down then. Getting my 4/4 back and trying to block this Noble Hierarch. I mean, my opponent at that point, that's just a weird attack, because for all they know, I'm going to Collected Company or something there, right? Like, there's just so many things I could do there. And they have another Deputy Detention. Again, don't care. This is fine. Not that Deputy Detention is bad against me. It's not. But, ooh, look at that. The problem with these the Blessed Alliances, there's nothing wrong with them, right? They're fine, but I want my value out of them. I have 4 mana. Let me get value. But I can't even get value out of them right now. I don't have any creatures to untap or anything. All right, I'm going to take the 1 here. As a matter of fact, I'm just willing to act like I have nothing. I'm taking 1 damage. Doesn't matter to me. Anytime soon, I might be able to actually blow them out on another combat if we get lucky. In between Lightning Bolt and Blessed Alliances, we're going to have a lot of options. Thalia, you say. That's fine. Beautiful, actually, for me. I'm just going to pass here. Maybe I'm not. Well, the problem with... No, I'm just going to pass. I really want them to make that same mistake. I don't know if they will, but... I mean, what are they going to do? Never attack me? Never attack into open mana? They have to do something, right? They come in with the Thalia. I get to do the same thing. I get to blow up the Deputy. And even if they have something else, I can Blessed Alliance after that. Well, they've at least decided to attack with both. That plays around the Blessed Alliance to an extent, but it doesn't play around the Lightning Bolt. Now, I guess I can't Blessed Alliance with that in play, but this block might take care of that. Yep, there goes the Thalia. All right, this seems like we've turned the corner on this one. My opponent down to 3 cards in hand. We're about to play Tarmogoyf and then have Blessed Alliances. That heck, we might not even get a play if we're always on the offensive here, but let's see what it is. Another Deputy, maybe? Deputy number 3? I don't know. Yeah, backing off of it. Maybe. I get to play a 3/4 Tarmogoyf next turn. That gives me 7 power in play. I mean, we'll end the game pretty quickly. All right, let's see what it is. It is a Okay, fair enough. A Phantasmal Image on our Gore clan so that they have their own 4/4. You know, nothing wrong with that. On Hierarch, they actually have the better attacker here, but this is where Blessed Alliance will be good. All right, we'll attack with our Gore clan. I don't know if they'll trade or not. I don't think they win the game if they trade. They're probably supposed to take it, which is good. That's what they do. The problem, of course, for them, they don't know, is that we have pretty much everything we need to beat them here. Yep, let's just go target player sacrifices an attacking creature. That'll take care of that. 4/4. And we'll see where things go from here. Still just 3/4 Tarmogoyf. We have land, creatures, instants. That's it, I guess. All right, whatever. Fair enough. 2 cards in hand, though. They're going to need something pretty good to get back in this one. Is this it? Bant colors, they've tapped Knight of Autumn, huh? That's a 4/3, I imagine. Sweet card. I'm really happy, by the way, this is an unrelated note, that I feel like they did a very good job, them being play design at Wizards of the Coast, with both Deputy Detention and Knight of Autumn not making these humans. Like, actually designing the set, being aware that humans is a modern deck. Can you imagine if Knight of Autumn was a human? The deck be the best deck in the format again, right? It would just be unreal what this card would do. So, nice job by them to keep that under control. I think I was supposed to get the Blood Crypt there. Oh, well. Manus Rider, you say? In. I guess I'll just come in with everything. My opponent has 1 card in hand. They do have access to 2 mana thanks to the Hierarch here. But they seem like they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Not that humans can't dig out of a hole, but the thing is, it is a synergy-driven deck. At some point, your cards, they have to have a critical mass for them to be incredibly relevant. So, all right, that puts our opponent down to 5. Gore Clan has Trample itself, which is pretty nice. Makes sense. So, what is this play going to be? Deputy Detention again? Reflector Mage. Okay. Well, they're going to reflect back our Manus Rider. Buys them a little bit of time. Cannot play it next turn. All I can do is punch in with my Tarmogoyf. These Blessed Alliances have actually been kind of medium in this game, I'd say. They haven't been bad. I'm not unhappy I have them, but they think they'd actually be a little better on the draw when we're more likely to be playing defensively. All right, they're throwing the Hierarch under the bus here. I'm going to add this Nikado to my board and pass the turn. So 3-3, 3-4, and a hasty 3-3 coming out next turn. This is going to be difficult for my opponent to figure a way out of. And Thalia's Lieutenant is not bad, but probably not good enough. Let's say it depends what their other card is. If it's another human, that's a start. If it's another Thalia's Lieutenant, that'd be great. Say Thalia herself. Excuse me. Well, my opponent has a 3-4 now. That is certainly pretty good. I guess luckily I have the Manus Rider. You know, they're getting there, though, in terms of trying to stay in this game. Although, what if I attacked with both of these? I force a chump block if I attack with both of these. My opponent eats my Wild Nikado with their Reflector Mage, but it means they throw away their Thalia or their Thalia's Lieutenant to my Tarmogoyf, then leaving me with Tarmogoyf versus Reflector Mage, and my opponent having fewer humans. I think that's actually the play I want to make here. Yeah, this doesn't help much. It also limits my opponent's options if they do attack back with me, what I can get them with the Blessed Alliance here. I imagine they throw away the Thalia as the chump block. No, the Thalia's Lieutenant, huh? Oh, they want the double block route? Okay. I mean, I guess that's fine with me. Just verify that this doesn't help us. A target player gains 4 and tap up to 2 target creatures. Target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature. None of that helps. So we'll just do this. Yeah, I mean, clearing off both of the... Just emptying my opponent's board realistically removes their path to victory. So I think the all-out attack here is good. And really, that combat was a 2-for-2. Or 2-for-1. 2-for-2, right? My Nikado, my Tarmogoyf for their Thalia and their Thalia's Lieutenant. And now we have a flying attacker to win the game. So, also my opponent's going to come in with a 3-4, and I'm going to Blessed Alliance it. I just want to keep... Oops, come on, game. I just want to keep all of the... I just want to keep the board clear. I just want the board clear. I want to draw Bloodbraid Elf and win the game. But this all comes down to whether or not they have an answer for Manus Rider. Wow. Which they did rip right off the top. They should have played it pre-combat and attacked with it, though. That would have been infinitely better, because either you trade then or you trade now, but you would have possibly gotten some damage in. Let's see if we can top deck our way out of it. I very skillfully did so. It feels good to be good at Magic. On to game... Oh, Boros Charm, huh? Yeah, let's do 4 damage to them. Sure. On to game 3. That was intense. That was intense. All right, now we're on the draw. So I think that makes things a little more difficult. Is Lingering Souls good? It's just so medium. It seems kind of not good. I'm going to run one of these Knight of Autumns instead. The threat of Goreclaw is good, but again, they've seen Goreclaw now, so maybe the threat is good enough, right? Cindervines, I don't think I... No, I'm not messing around with any of this. Damping Sphere is no good. This is still 61 cards. I just do this. This is probably fine. I feel like the Blessed Alliances are better on the draw because I just want to use them on turn 2 to catch a Manus Rider or whatever. But I guess I'm going to keep this hand. I guess I have to keep this hand. I mean, Nikado, not going to be a very big Nikado. It'll be a 2-2 as it currently stands. But Path and Tarmogoyf allow us to interact with the board. And if we draw red mana, we have things to do with it. So I can get behind this. And drawing a Breeding Pool there that's a big-ish game, I suppose. It's another land, which is nice because it's one more land towards the Bloodbraid. It doesn't actually help us play the Bloodbraid or the Tribal Flames, but it does make both of those cards more realistic and or better. So let's see. They had no 1-drop. Is it Thalia on 2 here? Ah. We've been freebooted. Hadn't seen that. Didn't know if they were on the freebooter version or not. I don't know about humans. I don't know enough about the deck. I assume freebooter is much better right now, given the prevalence of combo decks and so on, especially against Izzet Phoenix. There are a bunch of cantrips. You can just take their removal or whatever. It's probably better than Bugler, where you're just trying to grind out games right now. So, as I understand, in humans, those typically don't go in the same deck, although sometimes they do. Oh, Noble Hierarch, huh? All right, that makes us a 2-2. So let's get in. They took our path, obviously, as you would expect. Given that we don't have red mana for the Tribal Flames. But we get a free attack with a Nikotl here. And then I get to play Tarmogoyf. You know, I'm going to try very hard to play this game on the board and deal with creatures and all of that stuff. And it's going to come down to whether or not we hit red mana for this Tribal Flames. That's what's going to matter. Never mind. Meddling Mage, Bloodbraid, probably. By the way, hitting Hierarch, that'll solve some of our problems. It helps. Doesn't give us red mana, though. They did name Tribal Flames. That's fine. We'll take one here. My opponent's definitely giving me a window to get in this game. I'll take it. I don't love it, but I will take it. It means I can attack, actually, which is pretty nice. Well, I guess it means I get one attacker, huh? Okay, we'll get in for 3 here. Well, you know, all that said, we might have a shot here. Drawing that Hierarch is pretty good. It's okay, rather, but drawing the Arid Mace is very good. So we can play the Bloodbraid. We can't play the Tribal Flames. And this is another Meddling Mage on Bloodbraid. That's not ideal. That's obviously what it's going to be. That said, this is one of the more, I think one of the more beatable sort of draws that humans can have. And it's a house of cards right now, no pun intended. You know, you kill the Freebooter, you get the Path. To kill the Meddling Mage, you get the Tribal Flames. To kill the Meddling Mage, you get the Bloodbraid. Like, we're one removal spell away from unlocking our entire hand. So I'd much rather play against this start out of humans than in a deck like this, anyways. Than I'd like to play against the you know, double champion of the parish or whatever sort of thing. So I want red mana here. I have plenty of green. I think I got blue actually. I want red white maybe, red black. I pretty much got everything here. What am I going to need multiple of? Red most likely. So I probably just want the Stomping Ground or the Sacred Foundry. Probably the Sacred Foundry. All right, removal spell, please. Not quite. This is still okay. I can get in with the Tarmogoyf here. I get in for 2. I haven't a blocker with the Nikotl. My opponent, by the way, missing land drops of their own. So if they whiff for another turn, if this isn't a stupid, you know, Thalia's Lieutenant, Champion of the Parish and Thalia's Lieutenant to blow me out, we might have a chance here. Even if it is Thalia's Lieutenant, it's still not the end of the world for us. We're so close to turning the corner on this game. This is going to be close. It is going to be a close one. It depends a lot on what my opponent does. If they do nothing for another turn, then I think the window is open, right? The door's open for me there to get a removal spell and start unlocking my hand. But if they, you know, if they have a big turn here, we might just fall too far behind. Humans turns a quarter incredibly quickly thanks to the brokenness of Thalia's Lieutenant. But instead, it's a Phantasmal Image. Meddling Mage, Lightning Bolt. Noble Hierarch, interesting. Makes sense, actually. We'll take 2. Yeah, I mean, for them, just playing their mana, so this is a good play for them, because if that's what allows them to cast their Mana Rider next turn, that probably wins them the game. So this is the big draw step for us. That's going to determine whether or not I think we have a shot here. So, yeah, fingers crossed. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Yep. I have alternated between incredibly good at Magic versus just terrible at Magic in these games today. It's just either I draw the best card possible or I just draw yet another land. There's no like, oh, well, that's okay. Maybe this will work. No, it's all or nothing today. All right, well, that felt pretty terrible for us. I believe we're going to have a very hard time to win the game now. My opponent has access to 4 mana. Yep. Manus Rider next, I'm sure. Yeah, now this Champion of the Parish gets so big. Now we start getting to the point where this Bloodbraid doesn't even matter. Oh, man. What is this one named? Lightning Bolt? Should probably name Lightning Helix, since they're realistically the same, except one gains me life. They chose Lightning Bolt. Yep, okay. It wasn't even a Manus Rider. It's actually something beatable. But the number of outs that we have are dwindling. Cards that allow you to not play Magic are cool in theory. Like, Meddling Mage is a really cool card where you have to know the format to play it in your Game 1 deck. Meddling Mage on easy mode with Kitesail Freebooter is just so stupid. Alright, well, let's fetch and see what we can find here. Despite, all odds and evidence to the contrary, our deck is trying to bail us out. Here we go. Double Hierarch, huh? Not what we were looking for. Guess I still get to attack with my Tarmogoyf, though. Yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate game. We could even just hit... I mean, with these 2 Hierarchs, honestly, we could have just hit, like, Manus Rider off the top in the last several turns and won the game that way. Instead, we've managed to flood out and also not be able to cast the cards in our hand thanks to this, just infinite parade of disruption from our all-creature opponent deck. I hate humans. Every spell effect they put onto a creature is cool until they just happen to all be humans, and humans suddenly has the best interaction and the best disruption and the best wards and just the best 1-drops and the best mana dork. Like, it's overload. That said, humans is actually a perfectly fair deck in Modern right now. This is just rude. It's just rude to take my Hierarchs like this. They should take the Nikado, right, and just win the game. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, humans has been on the downswing in Modern, and it shocks me because every time I ever play against the deck, I'm like, how does anyone ever beat this? But I guess if you just load up on enough, you load up on enough removal, and you can kind of, like I said, start to chip away from the ground up at the deck and win. But there you go. Official, screenshot it. I would give this screenshot to my opponent if I could, so they can see that they lived the dream, naming Lightning Bolt in the dark, hitting it, cutting all 3 cards off from my hand. Great game, everybody. Really nice, actually. It's pretty cool. This is humans doing its thing, so enjoy. It was pretty neat. Everybody, thank you for watching this week. Didn't actually get as many wins as maybe we would have liked, but you could see how close all of these games were. We'd very easily be 3-0. So everybody, I'm Corbin Hostler, as always, with TCGplayer. This is Mighty Modern. I hope you enjoyed it this week. It's a lot of fun to do this deck. The last couple weeks, I've actually had some videos do very well, in terms of views and comments, whatever. I really appreciate everyone watching. I know I'm a broken record saying that, but I do, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate all of you watching these videos and putting up with the misplays and the rambling and all of that. So until next time, everybody, I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mighty Modern. I'll see you later. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this week we are playing Tribal Zoo. This is courtesy of David Csente. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. I apologize. But 20th place, 12-3 at Grand Prix Bilbao with this deck. And this deck is a throwback of throwbacks. Tribal Flames. Let's read it. Domain. Now, that's an old ability from Invasion, I think, originally. I think it was in Time Spirals, why it's legal in Modern. Deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. So that means it doesn't have to be basic. It just has to have the land type. You know what has all those land types? Blood Crypt, Breeding Pool, Hallowed Fountain, Steam Vent, Sacred Foundry. We're playing them all. It's a 5-color deck. 5-color aggro deck. I love it. So, beat down Noble Hierarchs and Wild Nikados on 1 mana. Onto Tarmogoyfs on 2 mana. Manus Riders, of course, a huge addition for the deck. Just, boom, get you over and over again. So good. Bloodbraid Elf at the top end, as always. So, that's basically sums up the creatures, right? Those are your typical aggro creatures. But we have some spice here. Knight of Autumn David was playing. This one is, I love this card. It's really, really cool. So lots of relevant abilities. Even when it's just a 4-3, making Knight of Autumn a 4-3 is probably better in this deck than any other Knight of Autumn deck. And of course, the other abilities are good as well. Now, this one I love. Gore Clan Rampager. Red-green Blood Rush. Discard it. Target attacking creature gets +4/+4 and gains trample until end of turn. So it's 2 mana, 4/4 shot out of nowhere. And in a deck that pretty much just wants to burn their opponents to death, that's pretty good. This deck, it beats down fast, it beats down well, it finishes people off with burn. The Charm, the Helix, the Flames, the Bolts, it's just got a lot going for it. Fun deck, 12-3 Bilbao. Sideboard, pretty straightforward, I guess. Path, Alliances I love. 4 Ley Lines. You always need Ley Lines. Knight of Autumn, it's good. Damage Sphere for combo and Tron. Lingering Souls for the grindy matchups. And, of course, Lingering Souls is just as good here as it is anywhere else. Here's a spicy one. Cinder Vines, Ravnica Allegiance. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, deal 1 damage to them. Got some game against Storm, especially when you're already going to be attacking them, maybe. You sacrifice it. Ensure target artifact or enchantment, deal 2 damage to that controller. Pretty sweet card all around. So everybody, congrats to David with the 20th place finish with this list. And I hope you enjoy the deck. It's a pretty fun one. It's kind of a throwback modern deck. And hey, what's old is new and good again, maybe. It's definitely worth trying. We'll see how we do. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Mining Modern, as always, with the good folks at TCGplayer.